Hi, my name is Natalie McGill, and I am with Capital Agency Insurance. I am here today with my colleague, Brian Rober, and we are here to answer some frequently asked questions about the agency, about insurance, and we're really excited to get into those. So our next question is, if a person is thinking about starting a business, what's the most important thing that they should be thinking about insurance-wise?
That's a great question. I'll say, start the conversation early with your agent. Oftentimes, when I'm working with new businesses, new startups, insurance is one of their last considerations. As an industry, I think we've oversold the, give us 15 minutes, we'll find coverage for you. That's not realistic in business and commercial insurance. It can take some time, and it's an important conversation. Like, I need to get to know about your business, what you do, what matters to you, what do you need to protect. And the conversation will get into, yes, you're new, but do you have employees? Do you need work comp? So it's a more intensive process than buying auto and home insurance. So my best advice is start the conversation early.
Gotcha. And, if I'm very excited about starting my rooftop power washing, flame throwing business, I should probably have some sort of idea of what it's going to cost to insure that before I, pump a bunch of money into my website.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a pricey one.
Yes. Yeah. I'll rethink it. We do have another video question. This one is from Haley.
Hey, Capital Agency. I was wondering, if my car is damaged by a house fire while it's in the garage, is it covered under my homeowner's insurance or my car insurance?
This is a fun chicken or the egg question.
Yeah.
And I'm going to lob it over to you.
I'm going to give it a yes.
Yeah.
That's going to be two claims.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, your homeowner's policy does not cover licensed vehicles. So your auto policy, the comprehensive coverage, would be responsible for most likely replacing, not repairing the vehicle, and your homeowner's policy, that would cover the damage to the house.
I can't answer that any more perfectly than you did. So
say it again louder.
That was perfect. Okay, this is a fun question, and I've thought a lot about it. So I'm going to pose this to you on the fly.
Oh, great.
If you were making a movie about insurance, what would the title be?
I don't have.
I'm going to give you mine.
Please do.
You indemnify me.
Oh my God.
Maybe it's more of a line. It's not
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. I'm stumped. I've got nothing.
It's tragic.
Oh.
Okay. We fortunately have another video question. This one is coming to us from Taylor.
If I have an insurance claim, can Capital Agency handle this, or would I need to go straight to my insurance carrier that my policy is with?
Now, that is an excellent question, because I think that is sort of a confusing process. I'm going to start with my answer first.
Please do.
So generally speaking, you can call us if you have questions. So if something has happened and you're not in immediate danger, you're not, on the side of the road with a wrecked car or standing in, a pile of ashes that used to be your home, call us. We can help you get the ball rolling with your claim, but ultimately the claim is filed with your carrier. So we will help you get to your carrier and get the ball rolling with the filing process, but they want to speak to you directly.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to hammer that home a little more, we would like to be on the front end of that conversation. To make sure it's worth filing the claim. Do you remember what your deductible is? If it's a claim on your home and you have a $5,000 deductible, let's get an idea of what the damage is before we file a claim.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unfortunate, but in the industry, the number of claims you file, whether they're paid or not, it matters.
Yes.
So, engage us in the conversation of, hey, should I file a claim? And then ultimately, if you do, it makes the process more seamless if you file the claim directly with the carrier.
Yep, exactly. Now, this is a fun question again, and this is one of the questions that makes me a super insurance nerd. What is the coolest thing that you've ever written a policy for, or the wackiest thing?
I'm going to have to say it was a goat farmer who rented his goats out to folks that needed their yards or property trimmed down. They would rent the goats. They would come eat the tall grass.
I need more information.
That's
so
a
if
business.
I need to rent a goat,
You need if I've got a guy.
Okay.
If you want to rent a goat,
are they like
I've got a guy.
the yoga goats?
No, no. We don't. We're insuring the goats. We don't want the goats touching you. We want them eating the grass.
Okay. All right. So I have an example of like one of the weirder things, or like I guess claim stories from an insurance situation. So, customer has a wine collection, a very large wine collection that they neglected to tell us about. This is a million years ago. Earthquake happens. Wine falls out, is everywhere. It was a whole like ball of wax trying to figure out how there was coverage for this wine collection.
Yeah.
And fortunately they had this like the Cadillac of insurance policies, and there was like a special clause written in, and some of their more expensive rare bottles of wine were covered.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like, if you drink like half of one, like, can you
I'm going to say no,
but
I would have liked to help mitigate that loss.
Right? It would have been a fun one.
Yes.
We do have a few more video questions that came in. The first one we're going to hear is from Faith.
I'm new to this whole insurance thing, and I'm just starting out my career and wanted to know if I should get life insurance, and how do I make sure my car is covered, and how do I get involved in the whole thing?
That's a really good question, Faith. Brian, how would you help her?
The whole thing. I'll start with this. With life insurance, I think it's important to get it at a young age for a few reasons. One, when you're younger, you're naturally healthier. It's going to be less expensive to get life insurance at that time. And a lot of folks will say, well, I have life insurance through my employer. Well, if you change employment, that policy doesn't go with you. So it's very important to get your own life insurance policy that is portable and you can keep as long as the term of the policy or for your entire life.
Yep. And on her auto policy question, how would you handle that?
Well, that's like, I guess in my world, auto's so easy. Let's just have a conversation, and it's very quick to get a quote. Find out the vehicles you have, and just a few questions, and we can tailor a policy that works for her.
Yeah. I think when young people are first starting out and they're looking at vehicles, maybe it's their first vehicle purchase away from mom and dad, having an agent involved in that purchase conversation is really important, because sometimes insuring specific vehicles is really expensive, and you wouldn't have thought. Like, I remember early 2000s when Dodge Chargers were a big thing. Seemed like every household is buying their young kids these Dodge Chargers, and they are so expensive to insure. There's a lot of considerations that go into how they price those things, but it's sometimes shocking.
Yeah, and to your point, it's important to have an agent that you can work with. I know a lot of carriers are encouraging online purchases, but if you're new to insurance and you don't know what you don't know, so every policy has limits. Like, do you know what those limits should be for your situation? It's a conversation that you should have with an agent, and I hope we're the agent you pick.
Yeah. Another talking point on that is the whole TikTok craze with certain makes of vehicles, teaching people how to steal them. We had carriers that shut down writing those particular vehicles completely because of that trend. So people were buying these cars and they'd give us a call for quotes. And it was like, we have all of your insurance, but we cannot write this vehicle. Like, we're not allowed to write it.
Yeah. We've got the policy. They've already made the purchase. It's too late. Now we're stuck. We've got to potentially move their entire account to another carrier that may be more expensive, solely because they bought a car that their current carrier won't take.
Yeah. So just another reason to delete TikTok immediately.
Yes, please.
Right. We have another video question, and this one is from Stephanie.
Hey, Capital Agency. I know there are a lot of options out there for life insurance, but what about for these living things? Are there any insurance options to help protect my plants from my tendency to overwater?
So this is like a really fun multi-pronged question. First off, no.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, Stephanie. There's no coverage for your plant murder. But we can find coverage for other things that you also maybe love, like your pets. We do have some pet insurance options.
We can do health insurance. Sounds like I don't know.
Maybe you love your children and your plants.
You got me.
And also, if you're negligently overwatering your plant to death, even if there were plant insurance, it wouldn't be accident. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a negligence portion in there.
It feels more like a cry for help to me.
It does, yeah. Plant attorneys of the world, please weigh in.
See Stephanie.
Yes. Thank you, everyone who wrote in with your questions, and thank you, Brian, for sitting down with me to answer them.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate the audience. We know that insurance is an important personal decision, but we at Capital Agency Insurance would like to be your insurance partners.
You can reach us pretty much anywhere you can find Capital Federal. You can stop into your local branch. You can give our 800 number a call or find us on the website or on social, or you can click on the links below.